Hi. So I did Germany. Here's some pictures I found that really show how pretty Germany is and just highlight the country. So for their resources, Germany is actually 3 times the size of Pennsylvania and slightly smaller than Montana, which I did not realize until I started researching. And then over to their labor, they have 44.585 million people in their labor force, and their unemployment rate is actually only 4.98%, which is amazing for how many people they have. Their capital, it's one of the most industrialized economies in the world, and they're ranked 4th best economy in the world, which is kind of cool. And if you wanted to start a company in Germany, you can easily do it because they're ranked 29th for economic freedom. Country analysis, there's just that page. Something I found kind of crazy about this is with their GDP. So their GDP, it kind of fluctuated between 2019 and 2020 just due to COVID. Like every other country, they kind of got shocked with it. They still maintained one of the highest GDPs in the world during COVID in 2020. For example, Poland's GDP in 2020 was only 594.2 billion. Meanwhile, Germany was 3.806 trillion, which is crazy considering Poland is a neighboring country and relatively similar. And then the thing that I actually found kind of crazy is their per capita GDP was only $50,900 in 2020. And it could be due to the fact of people losing money in COVID, but they still have a relatively lower GDP for how advanced the country is. Onto the policies. So, with their policies, their fiscal policy, in 2020, they aimed to decrease unemployment and increase the GDP, like most first world countries were trying to do, just to keep their economies going and growing. However, with the increase of government spending, it caused inflation. And then with their monetary policy, Germany's central bank purchased 120 billion euros worth of bonds, and they have a max envelope of 185,000 billion euros. The monetary policy helps interest rates fall due to the increased price of bonds, and the policy helps raise GDP and decrease unemployment. However, the inflation rate continues to increase due to government spending. And then over to the international trade. So their top trading partners is the USA, France, China, Netherlands, and the United Kingdom. They're the main trade partners for, obvious reasons, because they're kind of some of the main producers and countries in the world. And Germany's close to the Netherlands. And then trade agreements. So Germany is a part of the WTO and the European Union. They're actually a leader in the European Union. And then top imports. Their top imports and exports are basically the same, excluding one on each. So they import car and vehicle parts, and they export car and vehicle parts, and then they import and export packaged medicine. However, with importing, they import petroleum, since they don't really make their own, and then they export aircrafts, which is kind of cool. And then they have sanctions on Russia because of the Russia-Ukraine stuff going on, and on North Korea for kind of trying to provoke war by testing nuclear missiles. But yeah, that's all I have. Thank you.